today I have this very beautiful couple with me who have been in and out of Mumbai for I don't know how many years, but they don't look their age for sure. That is architect Shekar Ganti and lighting designer Kiran Ganti from Ganti Associates.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
So Kiran, how has it been, in the lighting industry for so many years?
It has been very interesting, just like lighting has evolved, starting from functional, utilitarian, non-glamorous, very practical lighting to infusing the layer of aesthetics in there, and then now it's become about the how factor, like how we enhance the space, how we add and curate elements where it becomes the experience, the holistic experience, and not so much about the wow factor alone. So yes, that journey has been very, very educational, enriching, and happy to be here in this space.
Yeah. So how did Ganti and Associates get their first project?
So, India, we came here, we started Ganti Associates back in LA in the year 2007. So, that is after we were working for different companies. I used to work for Richard Myers, a very famous architect, and I was a senior architect. Kiran used to work for a company called ILD there. Then we both decided it's time that we jump the ship and start something on our own. So, we came to India in 2010 to start this company. And we landed our first project with Mr. Abdul Chodia from Banshee Developers. So we designed a bungalow for him in Ambi Valley, which he never built. So Ambi Valley is something I helped master plan as well in 2007, but he never built that bungalow. But every project after that he built. So that gave us a really good break in India. So very large projects like the Trump Towers, the first Trump Towers in India. So that's how we started our journey back in India. So.
What, like you mentioned earlier, you all studied at Sir J.J. College. What made you all move all the way to LA back in those days?
Yes.
So you want to take this question?
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to do my master's. So towards the last year of our final thesis at JJ, I decided that I wanted to go and study there. So I applied and got a full scholarship at the University of Southern California. So it was a no-brainer. So I just
And
went
the
there.
ambitious Mr. Shekar Ganti paved the road for us,
Yeah.
and we followed.
Cute.
That's true. And then Kiran joined me very quickly right after that. And that's how our journey started there in the US.
I think it was a good experience, I must say.
And then back and forth, Mumbai and LA.
Yes. So he pursued his mainstream architecture, and I got a break into lighting. And lighting at that time was in its infancy stage. So we had a lot of projects. We were working from LA and then working on projects here in India. So I got to travel sometimes even like 4 times a year, where we would just go back and forth between our design boards and site meetings and stuff. So we were never really there. We had one foot here and one foot there. So it just kind of took shape. Projects were here and we were designing from there. And then we saw that as an opportunity to shift our base here. Because in the end of the day, it is our country that calls.
So who is the boss at G Design and who is the boss at home? I want the truth. I
Right.
don't want an answer which Shekhar is definitely going to give me right now. I
But
know.
for every man, the lady is the boss in every sense.
And
But
so
we,
he says,
we have our, we try to separate oil and water a little bit here. So in the office, I take the major calls. But right as soon as I step out of this door, then she's the boss.
Things change.
Things change very quickly, she takes over and that's it. And I keep shut. But here, basically, all the business decisions and everything, I take a call on that one. And, yeah, that's how we've been able to work so, fluidly for so long. We know our boundaries. We know not to step on each other's toes. Although we both are architects as a background, but she practices lighting, so it kind of enhances what I do as architects. So we complement each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say too. It's a fluid transition between him and me, playing on our strengths. He's more into design and those decisions, and he's the architect. So he says, "I'm the maestro. You guys follow." But in the admin and accounting role, then of course I take over.
And the lighting, obviously.
And the lighting, of course, yes.
So how has the design philosophy changed over the years? I'm sure, like you said, you joined lighting from its infancy, right? So till date, I'm sure there has been a lot of change because you all have seen quite a lot of decades of
Yes.
So what do you have to say about the change in the philosophy of design?
Well, while the ethos, I think, of just generally the whole profession, the design, the ethics, and our commitment to responsible design, that has stayed steadfast. The philosophy has changed. You have to change with time. So, like I said before, it was function only. Then it became function plus aesthetics. Now it's function, aesthetics, comfort, well-being, wellness. So all of that with the technology that's available for us to use, I think the game's changed. And so we too had to kind of let our philosophy evolve around it.
And in between different countries, since we practice in both the countries, in the US as well as here, there is a change in how design is done there. I mean, there we tend to document everything ahead of time and then it goes into construction. Here we document while it is in construction. So that we had to really adapt to that idea of saying that, okay, we have to give a lot of drawings ahead of time to the site and then wait and then start it again. So that's a change in philosophy of how we work there. There it is more litigious. I mean, and so you have to really get your act together and everything has to be. Here it's, you'd rather get killed than not sued. I mean, so people are okay just taking that further and doing it that way. But I find practice there is much better in that sense because at least holistically you have thought about the entire building, all its components, everything together before it goes out to construction. Here we do it while. So that's a little bit of a change, but we are adapting. That's how the country demands it, so we have to adapt sometimes. So.
But that's amazing how you would have adapted to two different countries.
Yeah.
You are working of two different countries.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you this question because I felt that it's been a very long time that you work in LA.
Yeah.
So what is the difference and how do you feel? And I think somewhere you have answered my question.
There is a good amount of systematic approach, litigious society in terms of our profession. Here it's a little more chaotic, but at the same time fulfilling and redeeming. And
Yeah, I mean it's all about personal chemistry with the client here. And then it's a one-on-one, so they stay friends for life, almost everybody. So that's a good part. There is a human side, there is a human factor to that in India. That's what I like practicing here as well. And so when we go back there, obviously those projects are different, so we have to kind of adapt back again.
Yeah.
But I'm a licensed architect there, so I know the code and things well. And here also we will adapt to what we have. So.
But it's amazing that you're able to live up, in both the countries as per their requirements. And you're like, it's sounding so easy with the flow with you. I mean, that's really
maybe
amazing.
it looks effortless, but we
There is always
Of
some
course,
challenges.
that challenges you
I
definitely face for everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
But the attitude is amazing. What I mean, you're very, very positive about it, and I mean, I can see it's like there's so much of passion in it
Yeah.
that it really doesn't affect however tough it may be. It's just gonna happen.
It's just like you and Sumit, how you guys carry the style banner. Super.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Commendable.
Well, thank you. What is, as per you, what is the importance of design in our lives?
Well, since she can answer from the lighting side, but from
Of
the
course, I'm
architecture
going to
side,
ask you
yeah.
first and then go to her. She'll be ready for
So,
it then.
It is something which it's tangible and non-tangible at the same time. So, for example, if you were to visit any city or in any country, what do you notice first? It's design and architecture, right? I mean, if it was all sand and only grass everywhere, I mean, you could like it for some time, but then after that, you'll get bored of it. So, what really creates that in the environment and the space is the architecture, and people really subliminally, they may not consciously know that they're looking at something which makes them feel. If you ask them, what do you like in Europe? Oh, I like this city, I like that. So what is that? That's architecture. So for me, that is design. I mean, what you're feeling, all your five senses, when it comes together and kind of responds, and that's design. So some people have the sixth sense, but at least the five senses are good enough to start with. I mean, what they perceive through those five senses is all design. So design is the core of everything.
Sure. My take on this, well, design and its, you asked importance, right? Importance.
I can give you another question.
Sure.
The importance that lighting design holds in our project towards the envisioned final outcome.
Lighting, the importance of lighting varies from person to person. I mean, look at laymen walking into spaces and stuff, they don't even notice lighting. But then I think that is also a kind of a triumph because we did our jobs and they kind of just went in and out of it and enjoyed the space. But in our arena, you and I know how important it is for to have that weight of lighting on our shoulders. I mean, in a residential project, think of when we cater for preferences of different people, not only in terms of what their preferences are, but their ages also. So we cater to a group of seniors, and then the couple, and then their kids. So all their requirements are different in terms of lighting. As the lady who's trying to do a makeup and there is no lighting in the front of it, so it is that important, but it is so infused into your day-to-day lives that you kind of don't even think it's there. So I feel it really shapes a space. It provides the necessary comfort, and you can't do without it.
Sure. No, I can do without a lighting designer, so I can say that.
No, but like you rightly said, that in the previous question, that it's also part of wellness traits, mood lighting, wellness.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that? If you could just speak about the wellness part of it.
Lately I just got my WELL certification because I'm really, really interested in the wellness layer of life.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Even I really want to know about it, which is why I picked up the question.
So just like there is LEED certification, we also have WELL certification. And it covers the different genres. I mean, at the time when I took it on this task on myself with the 1,000 projects that we have going, thank God. So at that time, people were asking, why are you into this wellness thing? Because it not only tackles lighting as a layer, but it also tackles air quality, and then water, and then they have different layers in there that we had to study. But I kind of found it very interesting because it is, after all, a holistic approach. And for us, design has always been, like he says, put dots on paper and give specifications and stuff. So, of course, it's not just that, but it does get mundane even for us. So, to keep us motivated and make it easy for us to move forward, I'm also kind of looking at lights that deliver that kind of quality say tunable lights, warm dim lights, and there are tools that are available to aid us. Decades ago, we never had all this in place. So, in that sense, the lighting industry has come a long way to provide us with those tools. And then there's another layer, the biophilic layer. So I'm noticing on projects where we have these lovely backlit aerosol kind of screens with nature element printed on it. And so that kind of adds another layer and brings in that wellness where you're connected with nature even while you're sitting in an office working. And so I think that's very interesting.
And the circadian part of it.
And the
also,
circadian
because
part.
now with all these gadgets, people are staying up late. So how does that affect the lighting in the room? How does it keep you awake or makes you sleep? So I think a part of what Kiran also does is the circadian lighting right now.
Yes.
For a lot of houses, we have been already implementing that. So it's an overall holistic wellness kind of an idea.
Where you have the right lighting equipment, the right light, right location, and just enough.
So do you have to, talk to clients about it, promote it, or they are already aware of something like this?
So thanks to your kind of knowledge platforms, you guys have put every layer of lighting out there for people to at least be aware of. And then we took it a little forward in terms of explaining the concepts to them. Some agree, some, wash it up, saying that, okay, fine, it is no big deal.
Yeah.
But then it's our job to educate and make that impact, little by little, make that change.
And the guys who don't agree, just give them the Vastu angle, saying that it is in the Vastu that the circadian rhythms have to be followed, and then they have to be bending our way.
But that could be a good twist,
Yes.
a Vastu twist from a life.
It is, but what is Vastu? I mean, it's dealing with energy and,
Yes.
and sleep and everything. So we have this modern version of Vastu, which is circadian rhythms and stuff. That's going to affect your body, how you sleep, how you do,
Yeah.
how you wake up. So I think that's got a very strong point in this.
So maybe that's your next panel discussion topic.
Yeah.
After this, we are going to be doing that. So I would really like to know if you would you like to talk about internship would you like to talk about internship for me?
So it's a very important platform because what I see is most people in India, the architects, there are so many colleges of architecture that is coming up. From the time we know when we started, there were only about 8 or 10 metro ones, and now there are more than 1,000 everywhere in India. So there are a lot of students coming out, but are they finding the right jobs? Because in the industry, it's like trade, right? You need to train these people. So we as architects have to be responsible to give that end training to somebody, because we cannot complain that the next gen doesn't know anything, because if we haven't done our part of handing that baton to them to run, then we cannot blame them. So Kiran and me, we came up with this idea saying that why don't we create a platform called Internship for Me, where we connect the architects and the students. So there are a lot of parameters where they can put, they can search with a radius as to how many architects they can apply to. If they can apply to Delhi, if there's an internship, if it's available in Delhi but they don't know about it. So on this platform, they will be able to connect. And they will be able to, and not only here, we're also trying to get some US firms we are connected with to give internship to some really well-deserving candidates here. So they would get a free internship there in the United States. And we connect, basically, it's a platform to connect everybody together. It's not a job platform at this point, it is more of a free kind of a networking platform. So,
But that's amazing. It's such a great thought. I mean, it's like giving back,
correct.
to your community, because we really need, and especially not in India, I would say in many countries,
Correct.
this is required.
True.
Congratulations on this app. It's a fabulous idea, and I'm sure it's going to do wonders.
I hope it just becomes.
So we need ASTEC to support us on this platform.
For sure.
And just help every student out there who's
Definitely. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait for this. I can really
We're
see
also
it
looking
growing.
forward to the next session of it.
Thank you. What is your suggestion to companies, manufacturers, which need to improve design in their products?
In terms of lighting.
Yes.
Well, I'm all about made in India, use Indian products, because I think we need to give that a little push and bring it up to par with the well-designed brands that we see outside of India. But I must say that this cost-cutting scenario in our country really compromises for some vendors and some brands. I'm not saying all vendors, all brands do that, but for the ones that have room to improve, for those, I'm saying that they need to zoom out a little bit and kind of look at the bigger picture. Don't get hung up in these, using substandard materials, and then the product does not last for more than a year, and we see the projects deteriorate. So I'm just saying, you don't look for immediate gains. Be a part of the bigger picture, and hold the specs tightly. If we put in some technical parameters, it's not just there because somebody wanted it. It is there for you to look at and pay attention to it, and then come back with the equivalents that you guys can offer. And then if you don't have something like that, work towards putting it as a part of your products to offer. That way it will help us bring you on board in terms of our projects, and then we push the entire community forward, the designers, the vendors, the manufacturers, and we all make progress there.
So, what was the reason behind the giraffe lamp? How did it all come up?
Yeah.
So I'm just asking, I'm just throwing the question.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to answer has to answer.
Okay.
Can answer. It's like
So,
that.
actually, there's my son Yash. He was probably in the 9th grade at that point. He said, "Dad, I wanted a lamp, for my desk." And I said, "Then why don't you come up with some kind of an idea? Because then Mom and me will help you, kind of a thing." So he started thinking about something fun and something that he wanted to do fun. I said, then we traveled a lot, and we go to Africa a lot. So then he said, "Oh, Dad, why don't we do something on a giraffe, because it's got a long neck?" And I said, "That's a wonderful idea." I said, "That's a great." So he was in 9th grade. So then I said, let's start looking at it. We started sketching, and we developed our first product, which is right here, the giraffe lamp. And so he's the reason why we came up with this idea. And we're using the local craftsmen in India, and the board is also local. And then we want to promote this in different countries, like a made in India product, which is on par with everything. So we did a lot of product design for this, a lot of variations in design. And now it is selling on Amazon as well. So, that's the journey of Giraffe Lab.
At that time, he was also thinking of profile building and how he can involve local craftsmen around us to make it more like a project, like a socially involving project.
Yeah.
So he gave it that twist.
I mean, and you mentioned that you want to promote Indian craftsmanship.
Yeah.
That's again another giving back to the community. That's beautiful.
Extremely good. I mean, Indian crafts, the carpenters, they're really good. I hope the next generation, their kids take up that trade, because that's dying right now. So our attempt here is saying that there is life beyond this also, and in different countries, if you don't know how to sell it here, you can sell it in Europe or Scandinavian countries, because it's wood. So people in the Scandinavian, like IKEA, they might call these things.
Yeah, this will be a good.
Yeah, it's a color and everything.
Look good on the IKEA shelves.
No, it really looks great. It's very well designed. I mean, a great idea. And, of a giraffe lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, having it done by your Indian craftsmen
Yeah.
a Make in India thing. That's
I will
really
show you how it works. It has a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah, it can bend down.
yeah, I can see. Yeah, we will put it up
Sure.
on the screen
And the
once.
tail is a switch actually. The tail
Oh,
is
okay.
a switch, and it does that. It's a it's fun.
It's very. It looks like it's interactive. What are your suggestions to the few designers out there?
So I think one thing I can say working in India is we sometimes get too entangled with the developer's philosophy, which is fine, we can align ourselves, but in doing so, we shouldn't lose our essence of design and what we stand for and why did we take up this profession to begin with. So we have to be consciously reminded, saying, look, you're an architect first, don't dilute your design to a point and listen to everybody else around. Otherwise, you'll be a puppet very soon, and you'll lose the sense of design completely. And if we keep that essence going and the light at the end of the tunnel, always reminding you that, okay, why did you take up this profession? And that's what you need to do. I think that's a good message I would give to all. And we ourselves keep reminding us each other, saying that, okay, no, we shouldn't take up that project because they're trying to dilute that value of design. So we stand by what we say, and that's what I would send that message to everybody else.
What about you, Kiran? Anything you would like to say? Any ideas you would like to give?
Well, I would say design responsibly, embrace the story of the space. Sometimes less is more, so don't overdo things. In design, it's a little different and more tangible. In lighting, it's a little more intangible. So have those moments of light, but then infuse it with those moments of fade too. You need the pauses in between, and design responsibly, sustainably, add that layer of sustainability, and don't lose any opportunity in terms of giving it your best. And that's
Which has been your favorite project till date?
well, my favorites keep changing as in our drafting boards get more and more projects, and currently it is one of favorite and also challenging, I must say.
That was my next question, so let me put it again together.
Oh.
Which has been your most challenging and favorite project to work on?
So
Coming to you next.
so a bit of your thoughts. So this one that we're working on is a 200-year-old palace next to a national forest, and it has being turned into a luxury hotel.
Okay.
So to maintain that old world charm and also give or provide or fit the bill of that, the modern day lighting, because the guests, they're well traveled. They don't decipher between old projects and new. They would want their comfort in terms of illumination, and I'm sure this applies even to the interior design category. The interior design layer that they're working on. But I'm speaking strictly in terms of lighting. So finding the right light for that kind of a historical space, maintaining the old world charm. And it's not just the design challenges, I think it's the practical hurdles too. Getting to the site is a challenge. When you get there, you have to negotiate these beehives that have made their homes in the
And
old
leopards, and there are a lot of leopards on the side.
Yeah, because when we were doing our lighting mock-up, we had to wait for the guard who came with the stick saying that, oh, we had seen a leopard last night. And I'm like, okay, is this stick going to help us? So we called it rats. We finished our lighting mock-up really soon.
This is the Rajgarh.
Yeah, so it is right next to the Panna forest. And so that's what I'm saying, it's challenging. But of course, the nature around is inspiring. We're doing our jobs and we're doing our job of, bringing life into the palace with our medium of life. Architect is doing his bit, interior designer is doing his bit, but we're doing ours. And we're hoping that it'll come alive and be open to everyone to enjoy.
You have to have a look at it once it's ready.
Sure, we keep you posted.
What about you, Shekar? What is most challenging and favorite project?
So I think the most challenging project for me, which also turned out to be really good, so I can say that's a favorite project. It's the Sheraton Hotel in Africa, in Guinea, and in West Africa. It's near Ghana. It's Guinea Conakry. That's what we call it. It's a French-speaking country, and a small country on the Atlantic Ocean. And I got a call one day from a client randomly calling. Said we went to your website, we want to see that, and we can come and design a hotel for us. And I was really happy. When I went there, I just realized that country didn't even have a hardware shop, not a single paint shop, not a hardware shop. There's nothing there. So basically, everything had to be prepackaged, prefab from a different country. So if you lose one, two, you have to get it from Spain or France. That's how challenging it was. But we executed that project within 3 years, so that was a big challenge for us to execute a 300-room hotel on Atlantic Ocean in Africa with nothing else around. I mean, and it had its own challenges. There was a lot of civil unrest.
And don't forget the Ebola.
Yes, and then in the middle of the project, there was the Ebola crisis. And we still went there during the Ebola, and because we couldn't let the project just die down because you would have lost a lot of money or the land itself. So he requested, and then it was very challenging for me to travel during the Ebola, go there and seeing all the deaths all around, and still doing this project and finishing it on time. And we were able to execute that project with good Turkish contractors. That was really helped that project to do that within 3 years, and I don't think we could have done it even here. So doing it in a challenging country that way.
Never a dull moment.
And Kiran was a lighting designer, obviously. It turned out really nice. And the World Bank, who sponsored this, gave it the first green building of Africa.
Wow.
Because this was quite published on the World Bank's website.
And which year was this?
We started in 2013. The hotel was finished in 2016 towards the end of it. Yeah.
Amazing. Green built those years ago. Almost 8 years ago. That's amazing.
So that turned out really nice. The project is.
We'll share some pictures.
We'll share some
Yeah,
pictures.
we're going to be putting those pictures, in the middle of the talk when the chat is ready.
Great.
We're going to be using, I think, even that will be covered.
That's great.
Amazing. I mean, I'm really like, I'm so amazed after listening to whatever you all have spoken, your experiences, and how you are giving back to the community. That is something that is incredible. I'm so impressed because then it's like you're covering every aspect.
Right.
I mean that's what is important at
It
the
is
end of the day.
holistic for us.
Yes.
It has to also satiate somewhere within us our requirement that we're doing our bit. So that's it.
Shekar, your take on ASTEC?
I've been attending ASTEC for a very long time now, and I think it's a great platform. The reason is we architects on a daily basis don't get a chance to interact with everything that's new out there. I mean, a lot of vendors want to come and meet us one-on-one, but what happens is because of lack of time or whatever the reason is, we don't get a chance to meet everybody there. So ASTEC, what it does is it gets everybody to focus on those 2 or 3 days wherever we are, to go there, meet people, and also see the industry evolve. I mean, what we have seen about 10 years ago, that's not the same right now. The products keep coming into India. So we get a chance to go and meet people, understand the technical aspects of it, look at the aesthetic. And that's really a good platform, I would say. That I'm happy to do that every year. So I keep coming. Regardless, we save the days in November to make it a point to go there.
If we are in town.
We were right now. But we tend to be in that during that time. I make it a point to come to ASTEC, and if there is any way, what I would add to that is if the architects and the younger architects community can come to a platform where they benefit from each other, not only the vendor platform, But even this, that would also add the next layer to that. Maybe there's more interaction, there's more educational part of it, which you guys are doing through your, your meetings and on the stage and lectures and seminars. Those things do keep happening. But I would like to see a little more of that happen. So there's a takeaway for the students. So it becomes a platform for learning because we architects are learning from the products that we see, and those students will learn from us in terms of any seminars and that kind of stuff. So it becomes a learning platform all throughout, and it helps everybody in that sense.
Well, Shekar's articulated it quite well. It is a knowledge platform, exchange platform, but for me, Tech is also seeing you and your entire team. They have amazing energy. You guys exuberate amazing energy, and we get to learn from you. So yes, love to be a part of it.
Thank you. We look forward to having some collaboration very soon.
Sure.
We shall talk about it, of course. So thank you so much, Kiran. Thank you so much, Shekar. Thanks for your valuable time. And walk the talk with Bulbeer. I hope you enjoyed it as
So
much
we
as I
finally
did.
did. We kept planning it for a long time.
It was meant to be done today, so it happened.
I believe in that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Thanks.
And that's a